Live from New York, it's the show that took the bus to get here and does have fire in its gut. First things first. Today, you know how that goes. Are you finally ready to make your prediction official?
So, it says pick the whole schedule. So I guess what you're implying is, are the Chiefs going to go undefeated?
Yeah.
I think, listen, I don't want to spoil our Super Bowl picks, but since I've already talked about the Chiefs being a dynasty, I think we unveiled a banner for it quite a while ago. It's probably no surprise that I'm likely in about 20 minutes going to pick the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Of course.
But can they go undefeated? Can they do what your New England Patriots were so close to doing? Still, I believe the best team ever, the 2007 Patriots. I truly believe that, even though they blew it at the end. That's the most talented team
Samuel,
ever.
not everybody.
But you guys, you know that while Brew is all about vibes and you're all about jokes, I like to actually look at the data and I like to actually investigate the history. So let's go through it and let's just see month by month how the Chiefs should do. So we can show you, there's their full schedule. Can they catch the evasive undefeated ghost? So week one, let's go to September. Week one, Mahomes literally the greatest week one quarterback ever. That won't be a problem. Week two, the Chiefs on extra rest because they play on a Thursday and a revenge game against the Prince. I like the Chiefs' chances
Why is
there.
it a revenge?
Because they maimed Patrick.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was in a walking boot.
That's the
and and he was exactly. And then week three against the team that literally had the worst record in football last year. I think those are all wins. So we're off to a 3-0 start through September. To October we go. At the Jets. This is where I will thank your New England Patriots. They play the Jets the previous week. We can put that back on the screen if we could. They play the Patriots the previous week, beat them up. The Jets will be spiraling. Feels like a win. Last time I saw the Vikings play, Daniel Jones scored 30 on them, which by my math means Mahomes should score about 65. So I think that's a win. The Broncos have not beaten the Chiefs in the last 15 tries. This will make it 16. Week 7 against the Chargers. Kansas City on extra rest because that Denver game's on a Thursday. The Chargers, meanwhile, unfairly played the previous Monday. Oh my goodness. And that's against Dallas. That's a loss for the Chargers. And like I said, they don't lose to the Broncos, and Denver's just going to be trying to get to their bye. Now we're at 8-0. Okay, let's go to November if we could.
Chris Jones
Miami, and now Chris Jones, worst case scenario. He's back for an international trip to Miami. Miami playing Philadelphia and New England, two defensive physical teams the week before.
Sure.
You know what? I like the Chiefs' chances then. Week 10, that's a bye. That may be the only week all year they don't win. Philadelphia, oh, what's that mean? Andy Reid off a bye? Oh, and Philadelphia's been yapping about turf and refs. Feels like 10-0, and then the Raiders. Okay, guys, let's be honest about the Raiders. Brew, do you think Aiden O'Connell or Brian Hoyer will be the quarterback by then? Because we know you've abandoned Jimmy.
Well,
now,
Jimmy might be hurt.
Now it's getting serious. Now it's 11-0. Game number 12 at Green Bay. What do we know about the Chiefs? They're Jordan Love's kryptonite. Never beat him. Okay. He's played great against everyone else.
Anybody?
Well, no, he played. I mean, he's the only team he started and lost to is the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 14 against the Bills? That would be to tie the all-time record. Most consecutive victories. That would, for the Bills, that would be like their Super Bowl. What do we know about the Bills? They don't win Super Bowls. Now we're to the Patriots to beat the Patriots record on national television.
Love it.
That's 14-0. The Raiders, give me a break. The Raiders, that's literally on Christmas. And what a Christmas gift for the Kansas City Chiefs to get to play the Las Vegas Raiders. Week 17 against the Bengals at Burrowhead with all that bulletin board material we've been compiling all year to get to 16-0. And then week 18 at the Chargers, which every Chargers home game is actually a road game for them, a home game for the Chiefs, and they're going for a perfect season. Wildes, I can't find the loss.
I mean, it's not bad.
Drop the banner.
We go.
Never a doubt. 20-0.
It hasn't happened
Drop
yet.
the banner.
What the heck?
Brew.
It's a strong take,
Drop
Brew.
the Brew. Did you see a loss?
Yeah.
Where was the loss?
First of
Show
all,
me the
you
loss.
can't look. The 2 years they won the Super Bowl, 19 and 22, guess who they lost to?
Who?
The Indianapolis Colts.
Well, that's not on the schedule, luckily. So,
A four
not worried
team.
about
My
it.
point is a 7-win team, Colts team, and a 4-win Colts team. You can't.
Well, maybe the
they
Colts
might
are their
give up the
kryptonite.
ghost against a weak team. But I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I see a lot of potential losses on
A lot?
Yes.
A lot?
No, I'm not saying they're going to lose a lot of games, but I'm saying the opportunity, I see actually 8. I think it's 8 by my. Detroit could beat them. I'm not predicting it, but upset alert.
That's going to be your
Chris
alert?
Jones is out. There'll be no pass rush. Jared Goff is awesome when there's no pass rush. That'll be a tough game, but I'll give you that one. But Jacksonville.
Oh, you're a big Jags
What
fan
was
now.
the score of last year's playoff game?
When Mahomes
early in the
was
fourth
on
quarter.
one leg?
What was the score? 20-17?
Yeah.
It was a barn burner. It was there for the taking.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so Jacksonville, the Jets, you think they'll be reeling? I think they'll be rolling. All right, so that'll be a tough one. The Chargers last year lost to them twice by 3 points.
How many
both
times did they play?
That's impossible. No, they beat them twice, but
Okay.
both were 3 points.
Well,
they
I'm not
play,
talking margin
you know
of
they
victory.
play you tough.
Yeah, they play us tough and lose.
Miami, if Tua's there, could be a loss. Philly's been running its mouth. Yeah, the Chiefs will be motivated, but so will the Eagles.
Andy Reid
the
off
Eagles
a bye.
coming off the
Andy Reid off a bye.
I get it, but
Andy
the
Reid off a
Eagles
bye.
coming off that loss in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
they will be motivated. And then Buffalo
your
and
beloved
Cincinnati owns y'all. Three of the
They've
last
lost one
4
in a row.
times they've beaten you. So a lot of potential losses. They are not going 17-0.
Well,
I have one specific loss.
What's
Because although
don't
Brew,
say at New England.
well, I think at New England is a loss,
Okay.
but we'll be at that game.
Yeah, we'll
Yep,
be at that game.
We'll be there. But Josh and I were out there grinding. This time internationally,
Yeah.
grinding the tape. The curse of the 9th game.
The ninth game.
The 9th game. These are the last 5 teams to start 8-0.
Oh.
The Rams lost their 9th game. The Patriots lost their 9th game. 49ers lost. Steelers won. Eagles lost. And now the weird part about this is the Chiefs face the Dolphins in Germany.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just weird things happen on those European games.
That's
It's just
a heck of a
odd.
grind.
Russell Wilson went to Europe. All of a sudden, he was good. So I think that is a strange game. That's an early upset alert. The other thing that you touched on, and I don't have anything specific, but just to dig into that Colts game last year.
Yeah.
The Colts tied the Texans in game 1. Then they lost to Jacksonville 24-0. Then this was their home opener. Patrick Mahomes throws an interception, and the Colts are loving it.
Yeah.
It's just the idea that everyone's getting up for the
Yes,
Chiefs,
but
and you're going to end up giving one up.
yes,
It's like
to
when
a
you
bad
when you
team.
couldn't beat the Texans in regulation last year that I called.
I remind you all that was the argument the last time the Chiefs were the defending Super Bowl champs. Now they have a target on their back. Now they're the hunted, not the hunter. And Mahomes played 15 regular season games, sat for the 16th, and they were 14-1. So I understand that's not undefeated, it was 14-1. But I do want to, you know what? I want to show the
what's
audience
this?
something. This is not just foolish television nonsense. I truly believe this, and I will prove it to you, Brew. Tatted on my arm as of this week. Never a doubt. The same thing there. And this is why
Is
it
that
looks like.
real?
Yes.
Oh, it's real.
That's a real
Oh,
tattoo?
it's real. We have the evidence. I knew you wouldn't
can't
believe
just
it.
wipe it
No,
off?
you can't wipe it off. We can show you. Even my daughter who went with me took pictures of it getting done.
Wow.
There's me after the show on Tuesday getting it done. So never a doubt. Literally tatted on my arm.
Why not
for this
20
very
and 0 though?
purpose.
Never a doubt could be. That
What
could
is it?
reflect.
What do you
refer to
mean? Wiggle room.
anything.
What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean?
20 and
Oh,
0.
show me your tattoo about your beloved Ravens or whomever. You're going to parse the tattoo? I challenge.
That's a heck of a
any-
tattoo, though.
Listen, I don't know that we've ever had someone more committed to a take. I don't think in the history of sports media there's been someone more committed to a take. Literally before the season, tatted, not small either,
No.
and not in a place on
I'll
my
give
body
you
that can be hidden.
That you got a tattoo.
Never a doubt.
But if they lose to the Lions,
It's never. Well,
you'll be
how
like,
could they? It's never
As
a
soon as
doubt.
I met my wife Danielle, there was never.
Okay, what are you doing to
That's
me?
what it'll be.
What
I
are
mean,
what are you
it's never a doubt.
I think it's a savvy move. It's one of the strongest sports media takes of the year.
I think
So,
it's
fantastic. job.
I think it's the strongest take of the year.
You know what?
You know, I've said
gotta-
this
It's
last
strong. Look, it is strong right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how strong it is.
I mean, it's still a strong
by
take.
week 5.
Well-
no, if as soon as they lose, it's not a strong take.
great
Well,
take.
no, it's the strength. It arguably gets stronger if they lose. How correct it is dependent on how well they do. But listen, 20-0. You heard it here first.
You know the one thing that's not going
Look,
to
I
happen?
give you credit for going there. I didn't
What?
think you.
when we
you
go
had
to the parade, if we go to the parade,
Yeah.
the Chiefs are still going to get up there and be like, no one believed in us. No one believed in us. And
we should
That
just
tat
drop.
might
We
get
can
Nick
drop
on the
this
stage.
every Chiefs victory and just add little slash marks till we get to the 20
we'll
and
see.
0.
We got to get through Thursday. One giant curveball. No Chris Jones for the Chiefs.
Maybe. But
Now, Brew, through one lens, you'd be like, well, he is worried. And through another lens, he doesn't have a care in the world. What was your reaction to this?
I thought Kelsey handled it well. You obviously don't want to get in your teammates' pockets. Showed them that we want you back. We need you, but in a joking fashion. So it's like if he doesn't come back, we'll be all right. We'll be able to win. But Nick, look, I think this is big if Jones doesn't come back. Coach has talked about how the pass rush without Jones is almost non-existent. Last year he had 15.5 sacks. Nobody else had more than 6.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, Detroit, when they protect Jared Goff, and I'm not predicting Detroit beats them necessarily, but when they have Jared Goff, he plays lights out. So the defense has been top 10 in terms of points allowed 3 of the last 4 years.
right, they give up a lot of yards.
Right, which is big,
I
especially
think
when
it's
your
more
offense
important.
is scoring like that.
I think the points allowed is the more
Right.
important metric. Here's what I would say. Coach has made a point that guys on the Chiefs roster have X amount of career sacks. We have a lot of young guys when Chris Jones isn't there. Here is another fact. Last year, the team with the most sacks in football at a historic rate was the Philadelphia Eagles. The team with the second most sacks in football was the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Chris Jones had 15.5 of them, but they had 55.5 or 56.5 as a team. So there was, last year, now I understand Frank Clark's gone, other guys are gone, but they brought in Amenahu, who also has 6-game suspension. They had drafted a first-rounder last year and a first-rounder this year at the defensive line. Here is why I am not concerned and why Travis Kelce can chuckle about it. Because Chris Jones' most pessimistic feeling on this is, I'll be back by week 8. There is no chance he misses the entire year. And even if you are, incorrectly believe the Chiefs are going to lose before week 8, but even if you think they're going to lose 3 times before week 8, they're 4-3. He's back and would be back for the playoff run. Today, Andy Reid talked about it, and he was asked, hey, if Chris came back tomorrow, could he play? And Andy's like, well, Chris does a really great job of keeping himself in shape, and, we'd get him out there and see. Brett Veach was asked about it yesterday and said, we still have hope he's going to be there for week 1. I'm not acting like this hasn't gone on longer than I think anyone expected it to. It clearly has. But because he has to get this season credit in order to be a free agent next year if he doesn't get a deal done. There's no chance this is a Le'Veon Bell situation where he sits out the year. And so, I think he is a great player. Kelsey called him the best defensive player in football. I think the Chiefs, if they have to, can make do for 2 months. I also hope he becomes the second highest paid defensive player in league history this weekend.
Not the highest?
Well, no, I just don't think. I
that
don't
might
think
be
that's
what
on
he
the board. I don't think he's going to pass Aaron Donald. But I think he could get. I think he could become the second defensive player ever to get $30 million a year, and that would be a hell of a deal for a guy for his third contract.
If Jared Goff starts lighting you guys up, I think we're going to have a different conversation.
I will say this, Nick, and I'm thinking you're right. In terms of playoffs, Super Bowl, it's not going to affect him because he'll be back. In terms of that, 20-0, that's where I think they could be in trouble. And I will say this, though.
Yeah.
Playing Detroit, Jacksonville, the Jets early, which should be 3 really good offenses, that'll show you where if you start 4-0 through that, maybe Chris Jones is like, I better get back. Or maybe, the team's like, we'll be good until week 8.
Until we see Joe Burrow.
So we'll see. It'll be a good test.
Best take of the year. Not best. Excuse me.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.